So as much as it looks challenging, there is an opportunity, because when we look at the fuel and the interruption, the possibility for renewables and the possibility for depending more on green hydrogen, and the possibility of creating transmission lines from, in our case, Egypt to Europe and so forth, depending on renewables, this is an opportunity. So despite how murky it looks, there are examples and there are ways to draw private sector investments into countries. But let me focus on the message of COP27. It's from pledges and commitments to implementation. We want it to be an implementation COP. And for that to happen, there needs to be a way for all the private sector commitments that were made in Glasgow to make their ways to countries. And the only way to do that is if more climate finance, ODA, is presented to actually de-risk some of the private sector investments. So despite the conversation today on the immediate impact of the war, the humanitarian effect, and so on, but you know, the climate issue is one which is a common denominator. It will continue to be there, and what we want to emphasize, for example, adaptation was very big in Glasgow. We want to push that further because of the importance of agriculture for food security. This is what we're seeing today. So if we are able to increase investments in, and you know, there's a misconception that private sector does not make money from adaptation. That is not the case. We want to show that no, on the contrary, and this war has shown that. So there is, if you will, several spots that we need to keep on emphasizing and pushing forward. You know, if I look at the G24 communique, which came out a few days ago, despite the fuel, food, fertilizer, and financial shocks, there was a section dedicated on climate, and this is important, and dedicated in these terms of de-risking and trying to draw in the private sector investments that are needed in the countries. So we will continue to push that message forward, and also use life examples of projects and partnerships that worked in countries and see how we can scale those in other places.